Moyen, Kevin here with Luxembourg Legacy. I'm in Carey, Ohio, which is home to the Basilica and National Shrine of Our Lady of Consolation, who's Our Lady of Luxembourg. And that basilica and devotion to her here in Carey goes back to this man, was a priest, Father Joseph Gloden. Father Gloden was born in Luxembourg. He went to the seminary in Europe, but he was an immigrant to Ohio. He eventually finished up at the seminary here, and he was ordained a priest in Ohio. As a young priest and seminarian, he had made a promise to Our Lady of Luxembourg that if he ever started a parish, he would name it after her, Our Lady of Consolation. Well, he was pastor not far from here in a place called Frenchtown at St. Nicholas Church, and he was given this brand new mission church in Carey, Ohio. And quite honestly, it was struggling. They didn't like their priest. They were just beginning. They were trying to build the church behind us. They weren't able to raise the money. So the bishop removed the unpopular priest, and he asked Father Gloden to take over the parish. Father Gloden was a very spiritual guy, and he connected with the people right away, and he was able to raise the money. He actually built this church. At first it was called St. Edward after the first priest, and they didn't like him, so they changed the name. The parish took a vote, and with Father Gloden's leadership, they named it Our Lady of Consolation, which is Our Lady of Luxembourg. Father Gloden had a vision that this should be a shrine to Our Lady of Luxembourg, because the people in the area who are Luxembourg and Belgic immigrants, they missed the octave celebration that they knew back in Luxembourg. So he thought, well, they're not going to get to Luxembourg for the octave and that celebration. Why not have it somewhere here in America? So this became sort of the church to Our Lady of Luxembourg here in the United States. But to have a pilgrimage and a shrine, he needed a statue of Our Lady of Luxembourg. So in 1875, he had a statue commissioned, and two of the men from the parish brought the statue back from Luxembourg. So on this site in Carey, Ohio, since 1875, that statue of Our Lady of Luxembourg, Our Lady of Consolation, has been reverenced here. So we really owe it all to Father Gloden. Again, this is what he looked like. Let's go in the original shrine church so that you can see it. So the statue was originally in this building, and people came from all over Ohio and the Midwest on pilgrimage here to pray in front of her to console them of their afflictions. Let's go in the original shrine church and check it out. So again, it was named St. Edward's, but not for long. It became Our Lady of Consolation after Our Lady of Luxembourg. So this is the 1875 Church of Our Lady of Consolation. It's called the original Shrine Chapel, and it was a parish church and a shrine. And originally, the statue from Luxembourg was in that old high altar, but it was moved later on into what is today the current basilica. Just a little bit of history. The altar you're seeing now was referred to as the Luxembourg altar because Nicholas Gonner from the Luxembourg Gazette worked with Father Gloden to raise the money from Luxembourgers all over the United States. Nicholas Gonner came here when the church was built and said, wow, that altar is horrible, the earlier altar. We need to have something better. So Father Gloden and Nicholas Gonner got Luxembourgers to donate money. That's the altar that they built, and again, the statue was originally there. So we'll give you a little bit of that. Now we're going to walk outside. Bear with us. We're going to head over to the basilica that was first built as the lower basilica around 1908, and then the upper basilica was about a 20-year process to get that completed. So we're going to head that direction because we have to see the woman of the day. We have to see the statue of Our Lady of Luxembourg from 1875. So let's head out of the old shrine chapel over to the basilica. So as we're walking here, we're going to go past the shrine gift shop, the shrine property. They have a cafeteria here that gets used for special events. They have a friary where the Franciscans have been living for now over 100 years, that they've been with the shrine. So you're going to see some of the property as we move along. Hello. It's a beautiful July day in Carey, Ohio. So we'll just stop here for a second. That's the parish rectory, but there in the distance, you can see the Basilica. And again, it was built in 2 stages because of the fundraising. The lower level dates back to 1906, 1908. The upper Basilica was really finished in the 1920s. So again, the first statue was in this old church we just saw, and then she was enshrined in the new Basilica. So let's head over to the Basilica. This is pretty cool, going on a tour in Carey, Ohio. So behind me we have the Basilica. It's built in the Romanesque style. It was built on donations from pilgrims around the Midwest and the local people too, of course. And over the years, hundreds of thousands of people have come here on pilgrimage. And the listings they have of healings and miracles that have taken place here through the intercession of Our Lady of Consolation is really mind-boggling. Here's another picture of Father Gloden. I'll get back to him right now. This is in his later years. He had that long beard. That's what people often see this picture and think of him. He was here at Carey for about 10, 15 years. Then Father Gloden, of course, moved to other parishes. But every year in May, when they would celebrate the feast day of the original procession, Father Gloden would come back. And I have a third and final picture involving him. And that is a picture from the procession in 1913. There's Father Gloden with his long white beard. At the end of his life, he was rather sickly. In 1912, he went back to Luxembourg because he wanted to retire there. And his nephew was a Catholic priest, and he decided he would retire and live with his nephew in Feulen, Luxembourg. Then he took the ship back here to Ohio, and he brought with him from Luxembourg at that time a garment made for the statue here in Carey by a woman in Luxembourg. So this is the procession in 1913 for their feast day that they had. And Father Gloden gave the statue as sort of a farewell gift. He sort of had a love relationship with that statue and Our Lady of Consolation. As a farewell gift to her, he gave her that garment made in Luxembourg. It's still here in the lower basilica that you can see it. And shortly after this feast day, he went back to Luxembourg, where he died in 1919. So we really owe this whole thing to Father Gloden, his vision for a shrine here in America that would replicate the pilgrimage shrine that's at the cathedral in Luxembourg City. So with all that historic background, we're going to walk over, see the Basilica, the culmination, to see the statue from 1875. And this year, in 2026, the conventual Franciscan friars are celebrating the 100th anniversary of their presence here at the shrine. And they were from the East Coast, but they were invited to come here. And because they had such a large gathering here, They eventually got their own province named Our Lady of Consolation to serve the Midwest. So they're the Black Franciscans. We call them the conventual Franciscans. Have been a huge part of the history of the shrine. Well, let's go up and see the Basilica. So welcome to the Basilica and National Shrine of Our Lady of Consolation. Again, it was built and finished in the 1920s. It's really a spectacular church. All the best things were used to build it as a way of giving glory to God and also reverence to Our Lady of Consolation. So that, of course, is the high altar, but off to the side is the altar for the 1875 statue. Let's go check it out. So everyone, as you look up, that's the statue of Our Lady of Luxembourg. It's a replica of the statue at the cathedral in Luxembourg. It was made, it's a wood carving made in Luxembourg. A priest from Luxembourg actually was helping Father Gloden to acquire it, and he ended up donating the money for the statue. It was brought over here to Carey. There was originally a procession from Frenchtown here to Carey, a miraculous procession. But it's still here 151 years later. So it's a beautiful tribute to the faith of Father Gloden, to his vision, and also the faith of all the people in this area. So I hope you enjoy the tour and learning about Father Gloden. If you're ever in Ohio, you have to stop in Carey, Ohio to see the Basilica and National Shrine of Our Lady of Consolation. Eddie.